Trump is better for immigration because he deported fewer people. So how do you challenge that? A Trumper who says that says Trump did not deport as many people, so it's better for immigration.
Go for the legal immigrants who can vote. So it's not like you're sitting here and just because you voted for Trump, you stop being an immigrant. You are an immigrant. You are not born here. You don't have the color they like. And guess what? You're not born here. You're a foreigner.
Okay.
So assuming that he's good for immigration, what immigration are you talking about? Because if you assume just because you're a Republican, you're never going to get into it. You won't be included. You will not be on the boat with us when you are being chased away, my friend. Nakwambia tutakuwa tunakucheka kwa hiyo meli sisi tukikuangalia hivi. At least sisi tulikuwa tuko ready tunajua kishinda tunaenda huko.
And honestly, if you're in Kenya and you're a Trump supporter and you think things are going to go well for you, tell me how quick it is right now to get a visa to come to America, and ask and think about why it is that we have the backlog that we have. It's because of those inefficiencies that we're talking about.
Annette, there are still some common beliefs that are coming out of these Kenyan Trump supporters. I've been talking to a lot of them. You know, if you've been on my wall, you've been seeing some of the comments they've been making. They say, for example, Trump is better for immigration because he deported fewer people. So how do you challenge that? A Trumper who says that says Trump did not deport as many people, so it's better for immigration.
Wow. One, I would love to see those numbers. I don't know how accurate that is as far as numbers are concerned. But when it comes to immigration, I don't first look at deportation, because by the time we're getting to deportation, so many things have happened before we got there, right? So we're talking about going through the immigration legal process, and there are many steps. And those who have been through those processes know that there are many steps leading up to the point before you get deported. Like deportation sometimes might be the result of after a year or two or however long of legal action. So I wouldn't start at that very final point. It's what
but to that final point, you know, like, to be fair to them, and Obama, if you look year by year, Obama's peak years, there was a very high number. He deported more people than Trump did. Now, Trump's peak years were way more than Biden's. You know, that's another thing that people are not talking about. So you'll see they will mention that Obama deported more people than Trump. And remember, of course, Obama had 8 years. There's a number that's being quoted where they're saying Obama deported 3 million, which was over 8 years, and Trump deported 1 point something million, which was over 4 years. But when you look at Biden's numbers, they were much less. Mika, you had something real quick before we go back to Annette. Mika.
Yeah, again, facts. Mimi, hii story ya immigration, let's start with facts. Let's start with when the guy got into office. What was the first thing he did? He put a ban on 6 Muslim countries, right? And those 6 Muslim countries that he put a ban on, he said that they cannot accept refugees from those countries. He deported refugees that come from those countries, not even illegal immigrants, refugees, right? People are coming here legally looking for refuge. He deported refugees from those 6 Islam countries, and what did he do? Remember, he's the person who created concentration camps for immigrants, and in those concentration camps for immigrants is where children were separated from parents, and those children have not been found up to now, right? Those children that immigrants that were caught from the Mexican border were not caught up to now. He's the person who campaigned on building a wall he couldn't even make it. He couldn't build that wall. He couldn't get the money to build it. He said Mexico are going to pay for it. That wall that he campaigned on how he's going to build for it, he went and did what? He went and defunded the USCIS, causing an increase in immigration fees, which made immigration difficult for people to get because the fees were going so high. which again led to a lot of people getting out of status and led to people uh, not being able to fast track their way. He stopped his way to citizenship. Right now, in his project 2025, he's saying that he's going to go after citizenships. He's not even going after the illegal immigrants alone. He's going after citizenships. So wewe Mkenya ulimari msoa mapepa, wataenda kureview faili yako na umemfurahia, ulimpigia kura, ujipata umerudi Kenya. No president wako mwenye unafurahia. Because what? Let's not sit here and pretend that immigration was an easy task, right? They're going to look at your taxes. They're going to look at how you live. They're going to look at criminal records. They're looking at ways on purging the voter registry. And how do you purge the voter registry? Go for the legal immigrants who can vote. So it's not like you're sitting here and just because you voted for Trump, you stop being an immigrant. You are an immigrant. You are not born here. You don't have the color they like. And guess what? You're not born here. You're a foreigner.
Okay.
So assuming that he's good for immigration, what immigration are you talking about? Because if you assume just because you're a Republican, you're never gonna get into it. You won't be included. You will not be on the boat with us when you are being chased away, my friend. Nakwambia tutakuwa tunakucheka kwa hiyo meli sisi tukikuangalia hivi. At least sisi tulikuwa tuko ready tunajua kishinda tunaenda huko.
Okay. Mika making a very solid case. Let me come back to Studio 2, Annette. You were talking about those numbers and where we should start looking before we look at those numbers that are being shouted out there. Annette.
Right. So like I said, the legal process doesn't start at deportation. There's a whole process that happens before that. And something that's very important to note is that under Trump, the Office of Immigration did not function very well. If you had something, if you were in the legal process during that time, you had a difficult time. It wasn't a quick and speedy process. And if the things are working efficiently, then like during Obama's time, you are going to have more, you're going to have more activity happening, and therefore you're going to churn bigger numbers. So the numbers for deportation are going to be bigger, but so are the asylum seeker numbers. So are the numbers for people who have been waiting for their green card, been participating and paying taxes here, and have been participating here for many years. Those are also going to happen faster for those who desire to then take it from the green card and become citizens here. Trump is a person who did not even take the time to do a short little video welcoming those who became naturalized. If you got naturalized during the Trump administration, then you did the little swearing in or whatever, and crickets. It was nothing. Every other president has done a short video welcoming and saying, you have officially taken this step, and whatever encouraging words that they chose for that. Trump could not be bothered. If you cannot be bothered to do something as simple as say hello to someone, like I just don't see myself voting for somebody who wouldn't even have the decency. You know, in the South we talk about like that Southern politeness and all of that. Like you just say hello to your neighbor and wave. And I mean, if this person can't even say hello to me when I am coming into the space that we are now sharing and cohabitating, and that's not a person that I would trust with any of the legal processes that have to do with immigration. That doesn't make sense to me, you know. And honestly, if you're in Kenya and you're a Trump supporter and you think things are going to go well for you, tell me how quick it is right now to get a visa to come to America, and ask and think about why it is that we have the backlog that we have. It's because of those inefficiencies that we're talking about. So